Python actually offers different libraries for different purposes. So there are many libraries out there. Some of them are very popular. So for example, this pandas is actually very popular. Okay, so there is another one that is called NumPy library. Okay, that is called NumPy. Now you may ask that why do we have to use these external libraries? The thing is that Python is a low level programming language, okay, compared to MATLAB. Okay, MATLAB is a very high level programming language. So MATLAB provides a wide range of functions. Okay, you have seen there are many built-in functions that we used in MATLAB. Okay, that actually makes our work really easy. But Python does not work in the same way. So Python is a basic programming language, so it does not have that many built-in functions. Okay, let's come back here. Say this is I want to create another array, 2 comma 5 comma 5 comma 9. Okay, so I have an array like this. Say for example I want to bring out the unique elements from this. Okay, so in MATLAB we had a function that is called unique. Okay, so if I want to do something like this, okay, let's do it in different page. So if I want to do something like this in MATLAB, what I will write, unique. Okay, so unique, this is my built-in function name, and inside I have the parameters. Okay, so say for example this is my parameters inside. Okay, so this is the way we actually used to write a function, okay, in MATLAB. Now when you are working with Python does not have this function unique. This function is not built in Python. Okay. So what can I do to bring out the unique elements? So what I have to do is something like using a for loop. I have to go from first element, okay, say start from 2 and check whether this element is available in the list or not. If not, so this is one of the unique element. Then go to the next element, then check if there is another thing. If there is a duplicate, I remove that duplicate from it. Okay, something like this way. You have to use a for loop, the very fundamental programming language, to do that. Okay, you cannot do broadcasting, you cannot do boolean masking or anything like that. It's not available in Python. Okay, so that actually sounds very much complicated or makes our process very complex. Okay, so much more tedious way of doing it. But Python actually offers, like I said, Python offers a wide range of libraries that can actually make our work very easy. There is another way to do that using set, but I'm not going to discuss it now. I'm going to discuss something other one that is called using the NumPy library. We can do it very simply. So to use a library, first we have to import it. Okay, you have to install it in Anaconda. Okay, if you are using Anaconda or something like that, you have to install it in Anaconda. But since I'm using Colab, okay, so I don't have to use those. I don't have to install those in Colab. Colab automatically supports those things. So I will do something like this: import NumPy. Okay, so I'm using Colab because you can see there is the okay something like this. Okay, it automatically appears automatically appears the suggestion automatically appears different suggestions, so that actually makes your work much more easier. Okay, later on you will see. So that's why I'm using Colab. It will be easier for you. Okay, so import NumPy as np. Now you can actually omit this portion as well. So let's omit this one for now. So import NumPy. So I am importing NumPy library. Okay, so NumPy library is imported here. So what I'm going to do something like this. Say for example a2 is equals to numpy dot array. Okay, then I'm going to write the same thing. Say for example 2 comma 5 comma 5 comma 9. Okay, so what is the difference between these two? Okay, we can do this something like this using type. Okay, so if I write type of a, this was my a, so type of a is a list. Now if I write type of a2, okay, as you can see it is a numpy dot n dimensional array. So what is the, so if I now, okay, now so this is a list, this was my list, and this is my same thing similar to list, but it is an array, nd array. So if I want to write something like this, say for example numpy dot unique, okay, suggestion automatically appears unique of a2. If I want to do something like this, as you can see, now it is providing me an array, okay, that is the unique elements. So this numpy library actually supports this function. It has this function, built-in function within numpy library, but it is not available in the very basic Python programming language. So using these libraries, okay, can make your work very easy. Okay, so we are going to use this multiple times, and NumPy is one of the most popular libraries in Python. Okay, so I believe this is clear. So let's get here. So something what we do, let's start. Okay. The first thing that we did here, that is called import option. Import, then there goes the name of the library name. So NumPy or SciPy or scikit-learn, something like this. So this is the library name. So this is the first thing. The another thing that I actually shown here. So say for example import NumPy. Now we can do something like this as np. So why did I do that? So as you can see, as np means this actually makes your work very easy. So here I had to write numpy dot something. Okay, so but instead of that, if I write something like this, import numpy as np, what it is going to do, the numpy will be renamed as np. Every function that is within that library will be renamed as np. Then I can just do something like this. Okay, np. Okay, so it is already determined. So np dot unique. Sorry, unique of a2. So what is happening here, instead of writing numpy, I can just write np in short. So in that way our process can be much faster. So normally you can use anything. You don't have to use np in, you can use n or anything like this, or p, anything like this. It is flexible, up to you. But there is normally actually the trend of using this np for numpy and something like that. Okay, say for example OpenCV, we use CV, and there are many others. So this is the common way of writing. Okay, but this is not fixed. You can use other names as well, whatever you actually prefer. So this is the way of importing a library. Okay, importing a library into Python. Achha. So this is the thing. Okay, so for now I believe this is clear. Let's get into something more. So as you can see, NumPy is a library that we have seen that can actually make our work very easy. Now this NumPy library is actually the MATLAB version of Python. Okay, NumPy library is like similar to MATLAB. Okay, so you may actually so far you may actually think that Python actually makes it much more complicated. Okay, but Python actually supports this library NumPy that actually operates in the same way as MATLAB. So these kinds of things like Boolean masking, vectorization, broadcasting, all of those things can be done if you work with NumPy. Okay, so NumPy means using a NumPy array. Understand? First, we are using a list. We have to convert the list into a NumPy array. If I convert the list into a NumPy array, only then we can do all of those things like this Boolean masking or vectorization or anything that we want to do using this NumPy library. Okay, so I hope it is clear. So let's try to take a look at another example. Okay, so say for example 4 comma 6 comma 7 comma 9 comma 10. Okay, so I have again created a list. Okay, so if you remember, if I want to extract, okay, the even elements from it, if I want to extract the even elements, let me write it here first. Okay, so this is my elements. So if I want to extract the even elements from it, we can do it using vectorization approach. If you remember, I can do something like this: a of, okay, modulus of a comma 2, okay, is equals to 0. If I write something like this, it is going to extract, it is going to return me something like this: 4 comma 6 comma 10, okay, in MATLAB. Okay, so this is the vectorization approach. I can use the Boolean masking concept and extract it directly into MATLAB. The elements can be extracted directly into MATLAB like this way. Now if I want to do the same thing using Python, okay, so that will not work like that way. Okay, so first I want to do this modulo operation. Now in Python the modulo operation is done like this way. Say 6, this percentile sign is the modulo sign in Python. Okay, so 6 modulo 2 is 0, then again 7 modulo 2 is equals to 1. Okay, so now what if I want to do this thing for all the elements? So if I write something like this is going to give me an error. Okay, as you can see, I cannot access all the elements directly in this way, not in the vectorization format. Okay, so what I have to do, I have to write a for loop. I have to go through one element one at a time, then check whether the output is 0 or not, then I have to extract like this way. But that is a tedious process. We can do it much more simply using an numpy array. So what we have to do, say for example b is equals to np.array. Okay, so I am converting the a that was our original list into a numpy array like this way. Okay, so I have b, this is no longer a list, rather than it is a numpy array. Now if I want to perform this way, b modulo 2, as you can see, I am getting this, okay, logical output 0 0. Sorry, I have to do something like this, is equals to 0. Okay, now I have, this is true, that means this is an even. This is true, that means it is also even. This is false, this is false, this is again true. So I have to extract only the elements that are true. So I can do something like this way, b modulo 2 is equals to 0. Okay, now I have extracted the elements, okay, 4 6 and 10. So these are the, okay, even elements from the list. Okay, so this can be done this way. NumPy library can be used to make your work much more simpler. So all the operations like this way, say for example this boolean masking or broadcasting, everything you can do using this NumPy library. Okay, so NumPy is the MATLAB version of Python. Okay, so there are many other libraries, so I will introduce some of them to you. So I believe so far it is clear.